The world remains calm.
Traveler, it's you! Ready to join the Cheval Moran Film Fantasyland crew? It's time, dear partner in Paimon, for us to turn our attention to the Cheval Moran Film Fantasyland. As I mentioned, the park was started up by enthusiasts who brought in the Spina di Rosula to handle the planning, construction, and operations. Of course, enthusiasts aren't typically all-around experts. They usually stick to designing the event booths. We, for our part, handle long-term operations and develop standardized strategy guides for the different activities.
Long-term operations? Strategy? It all sounds so complicated. We spend most of our time adventuring and we barely have any experience running a stall. Do you think we can handle this?
That's more like it. You've seen it all before, haven't you, partner? I'd even go as far as to say you've shaped some of Teyvat's biggest business ventures. Anyway, first things first. Let's get an overview of how the whole festival's gonna be run. As you can see, our Fantasyland's a bit like a sugar-free... The Spina's only been able to hire a limited number of craftsmen. Besides, we don't have enough experience to handle multiple projects That's why I chose to adopt a time slot-based planning method, so we can focus on specific tasks during each designated period. Upgrading facilities, expanding the venue, hiring... So, it's our job to allocate precious time slots and as we attract more guests and earn money to add to our funds, we'll also be able to work more efficiently, which will allow us to divide each cycle into finer time slots, which will let us get more done.
So we'll be limited in the decisions we can make and tasks we can... Which means we have to use our limited actions and Mora to earn even more... Kinda like playing chess or cards then. Cooking up a... Paimon thinks she just about gets it. How do you feel about it? Yep, come on. You mentioned standardized strategy guides.
Of course. Film and entertainment, if we're not careful, some visitors and others might pick up dangerous props by mistake. To avoid confusion, we need to create a standardized
Wow, if we're the first ones to test out the activities, who knows what surprises there? But if we hit a tough spot, we'll just have to rely on our skills to carry...
Hopefully it goes without saying that I'd never put you in danger, partner. I carefully checked all the existing activities before you arrived. I also wanted you to experience the activities before anyone else gets to. It'll be fun.
Oh, those are two things Navia is best at. Making people feel safe and having fun.
Great. Well, I can't wait to hear what you think. Your input is super important to us. All right then, let's start with Eclectic Escapades and put our first guide together. Both of you seem even more excited than before. Looks like you're...
Paimon hasn't actually watched that many films.
Great job, Paimon. That's exactly what our enthusiast friends were hoping you'd say. They'd be beyond delighted to hear that visitors are curious about the films that inspired these attractions. Some have even been willing to contribute extra funds out of their own pockets. Where budgets have allowed, of course.
Out of their own pockets?
That's right. While the Spina di Rosula covers the cost of basic booth materials and rental fees, many fans have personally funded promotional materials and related merchandise. The cost of the booth itself isn't their main expense. Some of them have already started designing spin-off products inspired by film characters. Take our official mascot, Surintendant Chevalmoran, for instance. She won second place in the last most popular character poll for the comic film category, and was even dubbed the pinnacle of round, bouncy cuteness. Many people have expressed interest in designing cushions based on her image, using the highest quality fabrics and hiring the most skilled artisans to mass produce them. These cushions will officially go on sale at the next convention alongside lots of similar products. Don't worry. As Surintendant Chevalmoran's guardian and official image rights agent, Farina's already getting 60% of the sales revenue. After all, the fans are doing this voluntarily, not for profit, but to promote Surintendant Chevalmoran's adorable image. The more Mora ends up in Farina's purse, the better Surintendant Chevalmoran's meals will be. And who wouldn't be happy to hear that?
Oh, Paimon likes the sound of that. Everyone working hard for something they all love without worrying about profit.
Still, we can't just ignore Mora completely. Whether it's fan creations or official commercial projects, some level of financial balance is still necessary. The same logic applies to the Chevalmoran Film Fantasyland taken as a whole. Once we finish the standardized strategy guides, our attractions can officially be open to the public. But we can't take personal charge of the ticketing process. There's plenty of work to do at the various booths, and the park itself is a work in progress. We'll need to assign dedicated employees to maintain and manage each attraction. There's a recruitment section on the park's bulletin board. We've received many applications, and each candidate has their strengths. Our job is to match the best candidates to each attraction based on their overall performance. Once assigned, the staff will keep the attractions running, ensuring a continuous revenue stream.
Wait, so we've suddenly gone from being playtesters to heads of human resources? That's definitely a first for us. Just don't hold everyone up to your own standards, okay? You can't expect everyone else to be as capable as you. Alright, time to review some resumes. Fingers crossed we'll get some exceptional candidates. Looks like this particular employee is really getting into their role.
You're both doing great. You sound more like bosses than I do. In any case, with this, the Chevalmoran Film Fantasyland is now officially open. Running a theme park is a long-term project. You won't make much if you try and rush it. We're just about done with our current work setup, so let's take a short break and wait for this cycle's revenue report to come in. Well, building on this momentum, to draw in the crowds, I've invited she'll be performing right here in the amusement park's
So, is the restaurant part of our business strategy?
The restaurant is up to standard, and the waterside location will... Ingredients, check.
Hey there,
Oh, the president of the Spina di Rasu...
I'd say that if...
I'm guessing you want the traveler to help me decide the theme dish for each cycle, right?
This is the business strategy I mentioned earlier. Using Escoffier's top-tier dishes to attract more visitors to the park. But this isn't just about attracting visitors. Her culinary masterpieces will surely have other surprising effects. Just imagine, Paimon, if all you needed was a single ticket to enjoy all the attractions and taste all the legendary food. Wouldn't you be tempted?
Then Paimon...
Now, here's the twist. To get the most out of this strategy, the menu can't be made public. Based on research by a certain food branding consultant, many restaurants have started offering a special chef surprise dish. So give me some inspiration every few business cycles, and I'll decide on our next theme dish. Now then, give me your hand. A warm and energetic feel. Your hands are calloused from wielding your sword, but still... A sword, then. The theme this time shall be strength. All right, let's find... I've refined the sauce for the mint extract in this, but if you ask me, as I'm sure you've noticed, as their bosses, you have an obligation to provide meals for them. So why not invite them to dine here? Who knows? The morale boost might even improve.
Oh? If I recall correct, for several days after, the workers were all incredibly efficient. They'd finish 8 hours of work in just 5.
Then there's no time to lose. Go invite the artisans over while these...
That's a great idea! You really live up to your reputation, Iska. Looks like these themed dishes are gonna make a huge difference after... The artisans are pumped and ready to roll thanks to that themed dish.
And perfect timing, too. Let's take this chance to take the facilities of our eclectic escapade. Now that everything's going...
We should be able to attract more customers by upgrading the stall, don't you think?
That's right. Based on my business experience with the Spina di Rosula, an attraction will reach its ideal revenue only when its service value meets customer expectations. As we improve and expand our facilities, when that happens, we can deploy more capable employees or invest funds in training to enhance our employees' skills. That should be everything. Looks like you've pretty much mastered how to run this park.
Huh? Have we really? Thinking about it, we have learned quite a lot, haven't we?
Oh, not at all. I wouldn't say I taught you much. Your intuition's been guiding the way mostly. I imagine long-term operations sounded like a scary, but don't let that scare you. Just break things down into smaller steps and tackle them one at a time. Even if you're not a genius or naturally gifted, you'll get it done in the end.
Whoa, seeing her own progress has really got Paimon fired up! Actually, she's gonna jot your words of encouragement right down. From here on out, we'll be running the Cheval Moran Film Fantasyland together. Let's make it a big success!
That unique aroma. All right then. vengeance!
Alright. Adventuring is right up my alley. Rise with the sun!
Shower me with the... Off to the freezer!
Yeah! Let's ride! Wrath from the sky! The flame burns on.
Yoo-hoo! A dash of frosting! Goose on the loose!
Take me up! Open fire! Open fire! Knock them down. Let's ride!
Strike a poke!
The pinnacle of excellence!